Okay, so sorry for that break in transmission. Moving on, talking about the update coming from the world of sport. As I said earlier, England is leading by 1-0 against Denmark, and then the goal was scored by Lauren James in the game between England and Denmark. So by 12 p.m., China will be up against Haiti by 12 p.m. this afternoon. And then in the Group G, where Argentina also ended in a 2-2 draw against South Africa. Although South Africa lead by 2-0 before Argentina women came back to level it on the draw on a 2-2 draw. So the game is moving on. 60 minutes gone from 90 minutes from England and Denmark. That's the update. And then congratulations to Super Falcons yesterday, who defeated the host country by 3-2 victory. And Asisat Oshuala also wrote a name in the world of sports. So moving on, thank you so much for joining me. I love you all this morning. So moving on, let's talk about the updates coming from the world of sports. As we said earlier, the game in the FIFA Women's World Cup is moving on. Moving on, let's talk about the update coming from the transfer, as the name of the Nigerian players making the wave in Europe has been shortlisted. So Alex Iwobi beat Victor Osimhen to become the highest paid Nigerian footballer in the world of sport. So over the years, Nigerian footballer has risen to prominence all over the world due to their impressive exploits on the pitch. A few numbers of the footballer who have won the Super Eagles jersey has also won trophies and recorded success with their victory all over the abroad. So Ambassador Olaolu Adefila Jr., thank you so much. Most of the modern day stars of the Super Eagles of the Nigerian team have also managed to build a remarkable reputation for themselves across Europe due to their hard work. So looking at it, I have Paul Nwachu on number 10 is earning around 30,000 per week from Southampton. Paul Nwachu is earning 30,000 per week from Southampton, and then that's on the 10th on the list. Paul Nwachu is 29 years old, Nigerian professional football player who also played as for EFL Championship, Southampton, and the Super Eagles of the Nigerian team. As of July 23, he is one of the highest paid Nigerian footballer in 2023 with a weekly of 30,000 at Southampton. Nwachu has won league title in Denmark and Belgium. So on the 9th, I have Ademola Lookman, 38,326 thousand pounds per week. That is what Ademola Lookman is earning. Ademola Olajade Lookman is 25 years old, Nigerian professional football league, play as a winger in the Italian Serie A club Atalanta and the Super Eagles of the Nigerian team. Lookman made his senior debut in 2015, playing as a forward for Charlotte Athletics of the Championship, and in January 2017 signed for Everton, who used mainly as a winger. So he represented England from under 19 to under 21 level before he switched his allegiance to play for the Nigerian side. And his weekly wages is 38,326 pounds at Atalanta. So to say, on the 8th, I have Emmanuel Dennis from Nottingham Forest earning 40,000 pounds per week. 40,000 pounds per week, in which Emmanuel Dennis is earning from Nottingham Forest. I also have Taiwo Awoniyi from Nottingham Forest earning 50,000 pounds per week. That is on the 7th list, 50,000 pounds per week from Nottingham Forest. Taiwo Awoniyi is a 25 years old Nigerian professional footballer who played as a striker from the Premier League side, Nottingham Forest, and the Super Eagles of the Nigerian team. So to say, I have Samuel Chukwueze, the newly Italian boy playing for AC Milan. We will be playing the straight with AC Milan, and he will be earning 62,000 pounds per week. 62,000 pounds per week for Samuel Chukwueze. Samuel Chukwueze, looking at Samuel Chimerenka Chukwueze, is a Nigerian professional footballer who plays as a winger for the Serie A club and AC Milan and the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Chukwueze joined Villarreal Pro League Youth set up in 2017 from the local side Diamond Football Academy before going to play for the B team and then the main team. So Chukwueze is on the list. I have on the number 5, Blessing Olamide. Thank you so much. Joe Aribo playing for Southampton, 70,000 pounds per week. That is coming from Joe Aribo. I also have Wivre Onyiye in the day, 75,000 pounds per week from Leicester City, who got relegated last season. And also have on the 3rd, I have Kelechi Iheanacho, 80,000 pounds per week, earning from Leicester City. I don't know where this brother will be moving in the course of the game next season. And I have the Nigerian super striker Victor Osimhen, 90,423,000 pounds per week, 90,423,000 pounds per week, in which Victor Osimhen is earning with Napoli. Even though the transfer saga is up, the extension contract is up. Maybe Victor Osimhen will extend the contract and even earn more to reach the world number 1. Okay, talking about Alex Iwobi, is on the top list, number 1, earning £120,000 per week. From Everton, Alexandra Chukwu Iwobi is 27 years old Nigerian professional footballer who play as a midfielder for the Premier League side Everton and the Super Eagles of the midfielder. As of July 23, Alex Iwobi is the highest paid Nigerian footballer with a remarkable weekly of £120,000 at Everton. Iwobi began his career with Arsenal, making 149 appearances and scoring 15 goals and winning the FA Cup in 2017, as well as scoring in 2019 UEFA Europa League final. In August 2019, he traveled to Everton from initial £28 million. That is Alex Iwobi. So those are the list of the highest Nigerian money coming from the world of sports. Looking at it, I said earlier, Alex Iwobi beat Victor Osimhen to become the highest paid Nigerian footballer. So I've listed the top 10 highest Nigerian paid footballer. Let's move on. Let us about the update coming from the FIBA African release fixtures. So to say, in the FIBA Afro Basketball will be starting today. So Nigeria, the Tigers, have booked their place in the championship and they'll be up against Kigali, Rwanda, getting ready for the commencement of the competition. So looking at it, Nigeria will be up against ahead of the 23 Women Afro Basketball Champions. FIBA has released the full fixtures for the game. 12 teams, including Nigeria and the Tigers, have booked their place in the championship. So to say, the Nigerian side have been handed the top group and they'll be playing the opening games against DR Congo. That will be today by 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time. They will be playing their first game against DR Congo by 10:30 a.m. Nigerian time. Thank you so much. I am Abolade Ayodeji. Very impressive. Thanks so much. So order of the game, we have Mali up against Uganda, we have Cameroon against Mozambique, and Rwanda against Cote d'Ivoire. Those are the games that will be going on in the African Basketball Rwanda 2023. That's the update. Quickly, let's talk about the update coming from the world of sports in a foreign scene. Okay, after all what is said is that Luis Suarez will be joining Inter Miami, joining Lionel Messi. But the news coming from the update is that Luis Suarez has been evidently with the move to Inter Miami to reunite with Lionel Messi and co. But the news coming out is that the deal has been off. The Uruguayan striker was reportedly ready to pay out his pocket to terminate his Grêmio contract and move to MLS as a free agent. However, according to the news, the reunion won't happen this year as Grêmio block the move. So there won't be union between Leo Suarez and Lionel Messi with Inter Miami because Grêmio blocked the move. So that's the update coming from that side. And then yesterday we saw the news that Chelsea bid for Moses Caicedo, £80 million, has been immediately rejected by Brighton and Hove Albion, in which Brighton is demanding €100 million for Moses Caicedo. So Caicedo is keen to move to Stamford Bridge, and it's understood that all talks between all the parties will continue over the coming days. But Chelsea may have to start considering alternative options if they cannot make any progress on Moses Caicedo, especially considering the lack of depth in the central midfielder. So Chelsea, 6 listed midfielder in the traveling squad for the United States. 3 are teenagers and 2 have never played a competitive game for the club before. The only one we have is Conor Gallagher, who has experience in the midfield, but even though Chelsea are trying to sell him. But moving on, let's talk about the update coming from Manchester City this morning. So Manchester City has been granted approval to build a hotel and new entertainment complex next to Etihad Stadium as part of their stunning £300 million plan to expand the grand capacity over 60,000. In a move for this design to turn their Etihad home into one of the Europe's leading sport destinations, City has been given the go-ahead to transform the existing site, as well as the creation of 400-bed hotel. The Premier League and the European champion intend to construct a City museum, new club shop, and a workspace and covered fan zone featuring the wide varieties of food, drinks, outlets, and the capacity of 3,000 people that has been given for Manchester to extend their span in the world of sports. And also talking about United, come here, let me give you the update. As Manchester United fans group leading the current protest against the Glazers family ownership of the club says any continued long-term involvement by the Americans at the Old Trafford will leave a bitter taste. Negotiation around the potential sale of United are still taking place, with Qatari banker Sheikh Jassim bin Al Maktadini submitted a 5th bid of 100% of the club last month. So the rival is talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Ineos Group is willing to secure the majority stake, which will allow the current owner Glazer's family to retain presentation in the sum of the capacity. So to say, there might be Manchester Fan Protest Group fear 18-month process for Manchester United to take over. So let's wait and see before the end of the transfer or before the end of next season. The transfer saga might be up. I mean, the sale transfer might be up in the sale. So Bayern Munich are ready to renew their assault to try the Harry Kane in the world of transfer. And Tottenham Hotspur has returned their pre-season tour to London, where they will be met by the chief executive, talking about Jan Christian Dresden and the technical director of Marco Nepe. So Tottenham Hotspur, they are ready to accept the offer in which Bayern Munich will give for Harry Kane. Maybe today or next week. That's updates coming from that. And then former Manchester State playmaker David Silva announced his retirement from the football. The 37-year-old Spanish spent a great, highly successful decade with City and won 4 Premier League titles before joining Real Sociedad in 2020. Now he announced his retirement. David Silva announced his retirement on his social media account. Today is the time to say goodbye to what I've dedicated my whole life to. Today is the time to say goodbye to my colleagues who are like family to me. I wish you very much. Thanks. The former Spain international joined City from Valencia in 2010 and went on to make 436 appearances for the club, scoring 77 goals before moving on to Real Sociedad. Looking at it, a huge popular city with a tremendous vision and attacking verve, a statue of Silva was unveiled outside the Etihad Stadium in 2021, standing alongside those of the Velo Club like Vincent Kompany and Sergio Con Aguero. In addition to the 4 Premier League titles, he also helped City win 2 FA Cup and 5 league titles. Silva retired from Spain duty in 2018, having won 2010 World Cup and 2008 and 2012 European Championship title. Silva made 125 appearances for the country, scoring 35 goals, and a tribute was paid on Spain national team social media. Thank you all for your football you have given us. Your magic will last forever. And we say happy retirement to David Silva in the world of sports. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the updates coming from the Inter Milan coach Simone Inzaghi. Admitted there is no way back for Chelsea striker Romelu Lukaku after last season loan deal. Lukaku has entered talk with Juventus, angering Inter in the process after their 1-1 draw with Al Nassr on Sunday. Inzaghi said the story deserved a driven ending. David Fratti struck Inter goal against Al Nassr. Inzaghi said all the new arrivals had a good games and it's not easy to come with a side like Inter who have a definite playing style for the last 2 years. We have shown good organization and create many chances, but for Romelu Lukaku, I think the door is shut for Romelu Lukaku to join Inter Milan again. So maybe he's negotiating with Juventus to join Juventus ahead of next season. And Sofia Amrabat has gone out from the club pre-season training camp. The Moroccan was not on the team flight to Belgrade as they get ready to take on the Red Star Belgrade in the game. So maybe Manchester United is still on to sign Sofia Amrabat. That's why Fiorentina did not bring along Sofia Amrabat to the third ground to Belgrade in order to make the negotiation go well between them. So the close of £21 million deal with United might sign Sofia Amrabat before the end of the transfer window. Okay, before I leave the studio, England against Denmark still remain 1-0. The goal from Dorian James is giving England the lead. 29 minutes gone from 90 minutes. And that will be the end of the show this morning. Thank you so much, Ambassador Olalu Adefila. Thank you so much. Blessing Olamide. I am Abolade Ayodeji. Thank you so much for joining. Till return back on Monday to give you the latest updates coming from the world of sports. I remain Kenny Adedire, the Crown of Sports, signing out today. Have a lovely weekend. I'm out of the studio.